this, and this should be parallel. And you can make this as long as you want. Like, it's possible for me to have made this square, you know, this long, or make it look like there's two squares, you know, stacked up together, maybe even more. And I could have put this point anywhere. Here's a 2-pointer that I started. Again, the corner is what's closest to us. I used this point, and then the other vanishing point was off the edge. It's actually over here, something like that. And whenever the box is right on the horizon line, you won't see the top or the bottom of the square. So let me show you an example of once the box goes above the horizon line, you can see the bottom. Put a little shadow in here. And if it's reversed, if it's the opposite, it's below the horizon line, you can see the top of it. But if it's right on the horizon line, you don't see either. Again, you know, I can make this one really skinny, like this, like it's almost like a plank. You know, it's a little crooked. Or I can make like a row of planks if I wanted to. So let's see. Let me do another one. This is always hard to get students to make this straight, because their tendency is to want to do this, make it curved. So just remember, it always has to be parallel with this. So that's far, that's near, that's really near, that's kind of far. How about I do a close 2-point? I'll put it like right behind this guy. So I'll start at the corner. I'll even just draw through it. And in general, you want to avoid when you find your 2 points, avoid putting them too close together. You kind of want them to be spread out a little more. I think the idea is if it's like it's really close together, it looks like it's really close to your face, and then you kind of want these to all look like they're kind of a little bit far away. So I'm going to pick a point right here, and go to the bottom of the pole, and then you go to the top. There's no reason why it stopped right there. It's not like it had to line up with that, but these have to line up. And then I want another one. It doesn't have to be the same distance, but I can make it, if I measure this, it's about that. That would be the same if I did that, but I don't have to go. It doesn't have to be the same. I'm going to extend this horizon line. I want to make it like right around here. I don't know if you can see that. This is tricky to do. For some reason, this is real slippery. My camera's like right in between my drawing and my face, so it's hard for me to see what I'm doing. Okay. I'll make this one longer than a square. Remember, it should be parallel with the edge here. I don't really feel like it's parallel. and they don't have to be the same. Like, it's possible for me to make this one smaller. I want to make this one smaller just to mix it up a little. And now I gotta get the top. This is the part that people always mess up on. So now you have two new corners to the box. So I just keep in mind this one goes in that direction, and this one has to go in that direction. Oops, I want to keep it on my horizon line there that I drew. So this corner has to line up with this horizon line. Oop. This one has to line up with that other horizon line that I drew off the page. Oop. There you go. I got a 2-point box behind. And just to clarify things, let me darken this. Just going to darken the box. I guess I could do the inside lines too. So you see what's going on, hopefully. And then I'm only going to darken what's visible. The lines that are in between, inside, I'm going to not darken. But I'll leave them in there to drop the pencil. Oops, that's what you gotta be careful for. Especially this one. This one's really slippery. This is a painting tool. I forget what it's called. I think it's called a paint shield. So when you lay this down and you put a brush stripe to get a straight line. I use this all the time in painting. Okay. So something like that. So you got nice 1-point, 2-point box. And I would say do this at the very end because you don't know what's going to happen. You might want to put another box in front, so you might not want to do this too early on. But I just wanted to show you an example of that. And then this is a tilted box. So the tilted one is the tricky one because it's all these their vanishing points go to the horizon line, but a tilted one is going to be indifferent to this horizon line. Let me see if I can explain what I mean by showing you this. So sometimes I have students where they can't conceptualize that because whenever they do a 2-point, they constantly just lock it down onto the horizon line. But you have to do this. It has to be on its own horizon line. It's completely indifferent to that first horizon line. So sometimes I tell a student, just draw one on a separate piece of paper and put it underneath and then find an interesting position and then just trace it. And just don't line it up with the original horizon line. So the minute it deviates from that horizon line, you're drawing a tilted box. And plus it's kind of fun. You can see where interesting places where it might go. You know, maybe I want to tilt it this way. Maybe it looks like it's behind that one. Or it could be in front of it or behind, and then just trace it. That's like a good way to cheat the tilted one if you're having difficulty. Or you could do this. You could just say, I'm gonna draw another horizon line, and then I'm gonna make a tilted box that conforms to that horizon line. You know, I'm not going to do because I don't know if that's a good spot for it. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, it has to be 3. So I got 2, 1, 2, 1 points. 1, 2, 2 points. I have 1 tilted here, which I'm not sure about that one. I kind of just eyeballed that one. I didn't even find vanishing points. I just thought it'd be interesting to have a big one right there. How about just for the sake of interest, I'll put a gigantic one, 1 point up here. I'll use this vanishing point that I started. Maybe the corner's right there. The other corner. You kind of have to know where that other corner to that box is to be able to line it up. Okay, so that's a gigantic 1 pointer. And then again, you can make it really skinny, you can make it really wide. Just make these parallel with this edge. So I got all my 3 1 points. 1, 2, 3. And see that they're not going to the same vanishing point. That's one of the main problems students have, is they always make everything go to the same vanishing point. So what else? How about, just for the sake of me describing it, how about I actually put the tilted one in there? I'll just pick an awkward spot. I'll pick it there. I won't ruler this in. Maybe that'll work. So now I'm crowding a lot of the middle ground. Maybe I need to put something really close to the foreground here, which might be a good idea. Like, I feel like this one is just too, it wasn't bold enough. It's like I wanted a tilted one that was just much bigger. You can't see the vanishing point, but it's off the edge. Its horizon line will be somewhere there. Oops, I don't want to move it. Let's line it up with the horizon line. That's my point. But you see what I mean? I don't want the paper to slip because then it won't line up anymore. So this is going to be one of those where the horizon line goes through the box, so that means you don't see the top or the bottom of it. And I want to make this one wide, so again it's to be parallel with this edge. I'll make this one a little less wide. I don't know. It's kind of awkward, but I kind of wanted it to be in an awkward spot. So I only got 2 tilted, so I have to find another tilted. I got 1, 2, 3. I need another 2 point perspective. Right now I only got this, and I don't think it would count. Like if I just decide to use those same vanishing points, you know, and put another plank in here. Make sure they're all on separate vanishing points. You could, I mean, if you do another plank, and I don't remember where that vanishing point was, so I should probably do them all at the same time. Like these two would just count as the same box because they're all in the same vanishing points. But I hope you kind of get the idea. I'm just playing around. I'm trying to fill the space. I'm like letting things go off the edge. Sometimes having to trace to sort of find interesting compositions and then darken the boxes at the very end, because you might just change your mind and redraw it and erase it, but you kind of want to fill up the whole thing, and then you can turn them into something if you want. But I'm not going to do that on this video.